Assalamu alaikum everyone, this is Ayesha from CxO Global Forum, a knowledge sharing platform for all the C-levels across Pakistan and around the globe. Every time we have some very interesting guests with us. Today as well we have Ma'am Zunaira Omar with us, who is the CEO of the SquarePeg. Assalamu alaikum ma'am, how are you?
Welcome, Salam Aisha. Thank you so much for having me over. I'm truly honored.
All right. Ma'am, I would like to start this interaction with your background. So, can you please share a bit about your background and your journey that led you to become the CEO of the SquarePeg?
Sure. So basically, I am a software engineer by profession, and that's my main degree. And when I started out, I worked for a software house for a very short period of time. Then I had to relocate because I got married. And I think that's when I fell into marketing because at that time, back in 2005, there were more remote jobs for marketing as opposed to tech, pure tech. So I started off at the very bottom, like I started off with social media marketing, content creation, and then worked myself up to the head of digital. So my last job before starting off the SquarePeg was as head of digital of a North American company. I was working with them remotely. And the reason for founding this SquarePeg is that I felt that there was a huge gap in terms of what digital marketing is and how it's practiced internationally, and how it was being done in Pakistan. And my main reason was twofold: a to fill the gap in terms of digital marketing in Pakistan, and b to ensure that Pakistan becomes a differentiator on quality and not just low price. So that was the main motivation.
Right. So, ma'am, what are the core values or the guiding principles that lead you and your company?
So that's very interesting. We had a core values meeting at the very beginning, the first year of the Square Peg, and all of our team members contributed. And I think as a team, we decided that we had three core values, and those were flexibility, creativity, and transparency. So these are the three values that are very close to our heart, and we ensure that whatever our dealings in, whatever we practice, however we do our business, these core values are reflected in that.
I'm sorry, I had this small issue with the mic.
No
All
issue.
right. So, can you please describe a typical day of yours in your current role as the CEO?
Absolutely. So I think that just a cautionary note for those who are planning to start the business and they think that the 9 to 5 grind is too much. I'd rather start my own company and be my own boss. I'll tell you that when you're your own boss, you work 24/7. So if you're exchanging a job for an entrepreneurial role just to sort of make sure that you work less, I'll ensure you that you work twice the amount that you used to for your own job. So my typical day, we have our working hours start at 10 a.m. We have our stand up at 10:30. That's when all of the team collates and we decide how our day is going to look like. Um, then again, since most of our team is remote, so we have a hybrid working model. So we use Slack and ClickUp and tools like those to ensure our tasks are being done correctly. My day is usually full of meetings because for me, there are two roles that are a part of my job as the CEO. One of them is growth, which obviously involves a lot of things under that umbrella, and the second thing is quality control. So I have a lot of internal and external meetings to ensure that a the SquarePeg keeps growing in the direction it wants to, and b the quality that is coming out is what we want it to be. So my day consists of basically a lot of meetings, and that's just my role as a CEO. Other than that, as a mom, as a homemaker, there are much more to this than just this.
Right. So, ma'am, how do you approach leading and managing a company like the SquarePeg?
I think that I have leadership changes. It's more dependent on situation. There's some situations which need you to take control and make the call, but mostly my way of leading is very democratic. If you have heard the word Japanese, the term kaizen, that's a
Right.
Japanese term. So I think that this is sort of something that we're trying to implement within our company as well, and then ensure that you know, it's not just a top down approach, it's bottom up, it's two-way, it's interactive. So my leadership approach is to take feedback from my team and then constantly evolve and make changes and make updates based on the feedback that I get. So it's more democratic at the end of the day.
Right. So, can you please share some examples of significant achievements or successful projects that you have undertaken in this company?
Sure. So I think that it's we have had quite exhilarating journey, so it would be very difficult for me to highlight a few projects, but some of the projects that are close to my heart. One of them is an edtech platform that's based in New York, and they are trying to disrupt the study abroad model. So we help them go global, right? So they not only they're one of the target audience was based in US and Europe, and the other side of their target audience was based in Asia. So we not only help them go to market in India, Pakistan, Nepal, and Bangladesh, which are sort of fairly easier markets to enter, but we also help them go to market to UK and Europe and USA. So I think this was very challenging, and it really tested all our abilities. And we not only were we their marketing team, but we eventually ended up being their RevOps. So marketing, sales, and customer service, we became the entire shebang for them. So that is one of the projects that I'm very proud of. Then there's also an initiative that's based in Pakistan that is developing the first send curriculum in Pakistan, where they're pairing schools in Pakistan with schools in the UK, and together they're developing a curriculum that will meet the special education needs for children. So that's something that I'm very proud of because it's very impactful, and I feel that I'm contributing some to a very meaningful project.
Right. So, ma'am, what do you find most rewarding about being a CEO of the company?
I think that if I look at back on my journey, what I can see is that I've made impact, impact in other people's life, impact in my team members' life, and also impact in the society, because we at the SquarePeg, we're a social enterprise, and we have an outreach and mentorship program as well. So we're not just generating revenue, but we're also trying to create some form of social and meaningful impact in the community. So this really is something that drives me, and it helps. This is something that I feel proud of. That, you know, I'm just not existing, or I'm not just earning money, but I'm also doing much more than that.
Right. So, ma'am, as we know, the technology is changing rapidly. So, how does SquarePeg stay updated on the latest trends and technology changes?
So we try to be a learning organization. So especially for marketing, because we are based on we're very focused on SaaS marketing and technology platforms. So that means that as rapidly as technology is evolving, we as marketers need to evolve as quickly as technology, because we have to market that technology. So for that, what
Right.
we try to do is that we have internal learning sessions where we ensure cross-functional learnings. Different functional teams have weekly learning sessions. Then we invite external trainers to come up and give us sessions. So we have different learning paths for each one of our team members, and we have a learning program in place that ensures that we are not only up to speed with all the latest technology and trends, but also the learning goals of every individual are also met.
Right. So, ma'am, communication plays a very important role. So, how do you communicate with your team and your clients and other partners?
So I think that because we, at the end of the day, we're a marketing company. So every client has a different. Are you talking about the tools or technologies that we use, or in
The
terms how
skills
what
that you use.
the skills, as in what skill? So I think that yeah. So as a marketing company, our job is extremely high pressure, right? Because at the end of the day, you know, we have clients that come up with different demands, and then also there is, you know, it's very difficult for them to understand that the working hours are over, and then, you know, now it's our rest time. So also we have clients all over the world. So I think the first skill that you need is conflict management and conflict resolution, because and for that, you have to have very expectation settings. I think is the first and foremost um, uh, exercise that you have to go to. So every time we onboard a client, we ensure that they understand that these would be our timelines, this will be our deadlines, this will be an ETA for various deliverables, and define a communication schedule. How many times a week are we going to meet? And then we use various tools. For example, for project management, we use ClickUp, and that helps us ensure that things are streamlined. So I think conflict management is one of the most essential skills that's required.
Right. So, ma'am, what do you believe sets the SquarePeg apart from other companies in your industry?
So I think that the fact that we are very highly focused on B2B marketing. So marketing to a single consumer is much more easier. When you're marketing to an entire company, you have a complete decision making unit that you have to convince. So our specialization is on B2B marketing, and then we also have a very high focus on SaaS platforms. So I think that is something that helps us stand out, because we are very niche in that sense, and the work that we do and the expertise that we've developed, the domain knowledge that our team has, that is something that I think makes us stand out for sure.
Right. So, what are the challenges that you face in your current role and how would you address them?
So I think challenges, again, there are many external challenges because we are based in Pakistan, and every time there is a shift in the economy or any political upheaval, that definitely affects every business. So we are a digital marketing company, so that means that everything that we do is online. So internet disruptions, and then shutting down certain social media channels, all of them have a very deep effect on how we work, and then that in turn affects the how customers abroad perceive Pakistan as an industry, right? So these are mostly our challenges are external. Then internally, of course, there are constant challenges in terms of how to retain your resources, how to build them. So it's very difficult to put the cap on the number of challenges, but I think external challenges are something that disrupt our workflow the most.
Right. So, moving on, one of my favorite questions here. Outside of work, what are some of your hobbies or interests that you're passionate about?
So I'm very reluctant answering this question online because people will be like, she's so frivolous. But I mean, I'm a human being at the end of the day. So I like reading books.
Okay.
And other than that, I also like watching K dramas. So Korean dramas are something that I am very
Right.
into these days, because I feel that they're much more lighter, and the stories are much better developed than Pakistani dramas. Sorry, guys, but that's what I think.
Right. So, what advice would you want to give to somebody who's aspiring a career in your industry, or I would say overall as well?
um I just feel that if follow what you have a passion for. I know that's very cliche, but it's just that marketing is a job that can be very draining if you're not passionate about it, right? Because for every industry, every company that is client facing, be it a restaurant, be it anything that where you're dealing with clients, it can be very draining. So I would really recommend that carefully think what your passion is and then make a career out of it. I think with the advent of generally social media and digital transformation, lots and lots of new fields and creative fields have opened up which weren't there before. So let's say influencer marketing is one field that nobody would have thought of could be monetized. So I think that if you don't get into sideline into doing something that you don't love, but eventually you'll burn out, and that's the worst feeling in the world.
Right. So, finally, ma'am, how do you see the future of SquarePeg evolving, and what role do you envision yourself playing at this growth and success? I would say.
So I think that we are very laser focused on the square peg, and where we want it to be. Um, as I already said, that quality is something that we truly believe in. So we really want to ensure that people turn to Pakistan not for, because we're giving high quality services. So that is one thing. Then we want to expand to the MENA region. That's our next goal, and we're very actively working towards a strategy. We are already serving clients in UAE, but then there are other countries as well within the MENA region that we want to target. And I want to be at the helm of this because I'm a very lead from the front person, and I am very hands on. I involve with myself with all of the projects. So hopefully I would be there. And lastly, creating impact. As I said that, it's not just about taking, but it's also about giving back. I actually, a mentorship session for 2024 is opening up in July. We're all very super excited. Our team members, for them, CSR is part of the KPIs. So and I think that they enjoyed it too, because this gives you an opportunity to do something out of your ordinary work routine, and I've seen them really shine in their roles as mentors. And it's so we want to continue creating impact for the underserved segments of the community.
Right. Done with this short interaction here, ma'am. Thank you so much
Thank
for the
you.
time that you pulled out for this discussion. I hope that the people who are watching us would be able to learn something out of it. But once again, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much, Aisha. It was a pleasure talking to you. Bye.
Likewise, take care.